It's morning. The sun is just breaking through the low mist, transforming the blackness of the East River to shimmering shades of russet and crimson. The air's charged with anticipation. Crowds have already begun to gather around the battery. Hawsers have been run out, sails shaken loose, as pompous men in great hats exchange final farewells. Just beyond the clutter of derelict hand carts and cast-off crates, a girl bites a trembling lip and strains to catch one last fleeting glimpse of a young man working high over the pilings. He nervously fumbles with lines and gaskets, prodded beyond efficiency by the surly bark of a grizzled mate down in the forebits. Brushing away a tangled crescent of gold, she tries to hold forever the twinkle of her lover's clear brown eyes, for she knows that he will never be the same. When she sees him again, he will have been to China. The year is 1850, and a Yankee clipper is preparing for sea.
Boats all away, ready for sea. Set five aloft, four main topsails, every other ready man on the capstan there. Shanty man! Have you heard the latest news? Away, Santianna, the Yankees, they took their cruise all on the plains of Mexico. It was a fierce and bitter strife. Away, Santianna, hand to hand, they fought for life all on the plains of Mexico. And Santi fought at an elderly. Away, Santianna, Santi lost his leg that day all on the plains of Mexico. And my dear old mother wrote a letter to me. Away, Santianna, my dear boy, come home from sea all on the plains of Mexico. But you wish to God that he had never been born. Away, Santianna, to go sailing around Cape Horn all on the plains of Mexico. And there ain't but one thing that grieves my mind. Away, Santianna, it's leaving my wife and my child behind all on the plains of Mexico. Just one more evil that'll do. Away, Santianna, we are the boys to bust her through all on the plains of Mexico. Lay capstan, round the world.
The great American clipper heading out to sea. What a sight. Actually, first clearing the wharves, she looked pretty gangly, hauled along by a chattering steam tug, her sails all limp and dangling. But once she rounded the battery, then the sea breezes would give her life, filling out her great bellowing cascades of canvas. She would heel over and take wing as thousands would cheer her on her fabled journey round the world.
Come cheer up, my lads, 'tis to glory we steer, to add something new to this wonderful year. To honor we call you as free men, not slaves, for who are so free as the sons of the waves. Heart of oak are our ships, heart of oak are our men. We always are ready, steady, boys, steady. We'll fight and we'll conquer again and again. Our worthy forefathers, let's give them a cheer to climb time it's unknown, did courageously steer. Through oceans to deserts for freedom they came, and dying bequeathed us their freedom and pain. Hard of oak are our ships, hard of oak are our men. We always are ready, steady, boys, steady. We'll fight and we'll conquer again and again. It's of a gallant Yankee ship that flew the stripes and stars, and the whistling wind from the west-northwest blew through her pitch pine spars. With a starboard tacks aboard, my boy, she hung upon the gale, and autumn night we raised the light on the old head of Kinsale. The nightly robes our good ship wore were on topsails three, a spanker and a standing jibber courses being free. Now lay aloft my heroes bold, let not a moment pass. The royals and gallant sails were quickly on each mast. What looms upon a starboard bow, what hangs upon the breeze? 'Tis time we hauled our good ship abreast the old Saltese. But by a thundering press of sail, by her escorts bore, we saw our morning visitor was a British man of war. Up spoke our noble captain, then a shot ahead of us passed. All snug your blowing courses lay at topsails to the mast. Those Englishmen gave three loud hurrahs from the deck of their covered ark. We answered back with a silent broadside from the deck of our patriotic bark. Out booms, the skipper cried, out booms and give her sheet. And the swiftest keel that was ever launched shot ahead of the British fleet. Amidst a thundering shower of shot, her stunsails hoisting away. Down the North Channel Paul Jones did steer, just at the break of day.
It was 1814, and our capital lay in ashes. Our country overrun by a foreign army. It seemed as if this glorious quest of ours were going to come to an inglorious end. A major battle was fermenting when a young man sailed out to a British man-of-war to arrange the release of some close friends being held prisoner. He'd unwittingly sailed into a major offensive and was detained overnight. All during the bombardment, he strained to catch a glimpse of our flag, wondering all the time, would we make it? And then, quite literally, as the morning mist cleared, he saw our flag still waving defiantly, proudly. He was so moved he wrote a poem. The poem was quickly wedded to a popular tavern melody. The man was Francis Scott Key, and the rest is history. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed in the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming? And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? On the shore dimly seen through the mist of the deep, where the foe's haughty host in dread silence reposes, what is that which the breeze o'er the towering steep, as it fitfully blows, half conceals, half discloses? Now it catches the gleam of the morning
morning's first beam in full glory reflected, it shines on the stream. 'Tis the Star-Spangled Banner, oh, long may it wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, thus be it ever, where free men shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation, blessed with victory and peace. May the heavens rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must when our cause it is just, and thus be our motto, in God is our trust. And then the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Glory and adventure, oh yes. But for the average seaman, well, it was mostly hard work.
A Yankee ship came up the river. Blow, boys, blow, her masts and spars shine like silver. Blow, my bully boys, blow. And how do you know she's a Yankee liner? Blow, boys, blow. The stars and stripes fly out and behind her. Blow, my bully boys, blow. And who do you think is the captain of her? Blow, boys, blow. An ugly cuss who hates us sailors. Blow, my bully boys, blow. And what do you think we'll get for supper? Blow, boys, blow. Mosquito brains and monkey's liver. Blow, my bully boys, blow. And how do you know she's a Yankee slaver? Blow, boys, blow. The bright red blood runs down his scupper. Blow, my bully boys, blow. A long time ago, I remember it well, to me, way, hey, oh, hi, ho. Had an old wife and I wished her in hell a long time ago. She gave me some money, she gave me some clothes, to me, way, hey, oh, hi, ho. Then she turned on me and broke my nose a long time ago. My life living with her I could not stand, to me, way, hey, oh, hi, ho. So I shipped away for a distant land a long time ago. Well, around in Cape Horn we met heavy gales, to me, way, hey, oh, hi, ho. Steering gear froze and we lost all our sails a long time ago. And never again to the sea shall I roam, to me, way, hey, oh, hi, ho. The sea, it is worse than the hell at home a long time ago.
Boy, I'll tell you, the work drove you to tears and the abuses, well, but somehow it was all worth it. You were a deep-water, square-rigged Yankee sailorman, and in spite of the fact that you were a mangy, scruffy lot, you couldn't help feeling that maybe, in your own way, you were a hero. Those majestic creations that raced over the oceans, those clipper ships, were your business. You knew them like you used to know your own bedroom where you grew up. You knew her every whim and fancy and could lay aloft, pass a gasket, shake loose a sail, and feel this great vessel come to life under your feet. But then again, a sailor by the very nature of his profession is always saying goodbye. If you were headed out on a whaling voyage, that goodbye would have to last 3 to 5 years.
Oh, fare thee well, my own dear love. Fare thee well for a while, the ship is
is waiting, and the winds blow high, and I am bound away to the sea, Marrianne. Can't you see the grass that's under your feet arise and grow again? Oh, love is but a killing thing. Don't you ever feel the pain, Marrianne? 10,000 miles from my home, 10,000 miles or more, oh, the earth shall freeze and the sea shall burn if I never no more return, Marrianne. So fare thee well, my own dear love. Oh, fare thee well for a while. Oh, the ship is waiting and the winds blow high, and I am bound away to the sea, Marrianne. Wind blows free, the ships are sailing far away, a rolling river, with her braces taut and her sheets a blowing. Far away we're bound to go, across the broad Missouri. For 7 long years I've courted Nancy, far away, a rolling river. Aye, for 7 long years I've courted Nancy, far away we're bound to go, across the broad Missouri. She went away and took another, far away, a rolling river. Aye, she went away and she took another, far away we're bound to go, across the broad Missouri. Farewell, my love, I'm bound to leave you, far away, rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I'll not deceive you. Far away, we're bound to go, across the broad Missouri. Shenandoah. That's one of the oldest of our sea shanties. We picked it up from the French fur traders way back in the 1790s down the port of New Orleans. It was a good song for Raise an Anchor. We liked it so much we took it into the forecastle with us and sang it for the pure joy of it. The shanties were work songs. They each had a rhythm geared to a particular task. We had shanties for all different kinds of work: raise an anchor, manning the pumps, even swabbing the decks, or maybe hauling on a halyard to save your life in a sea so storm-blown you couldn't see the forepeak from the mainmast.
Cape Cod girls ain't got no combs. Heave away, haul away. They comb the hair with codfish bones, bound for South Australia. Heave away, me bully, bully boys. Heave away, haul away. Oh, heave away, why don't you make a noise? And we're bound for South Australia. Now, Cape cod boys ain't got no sleds. Heave away, haul away. They slide down the hill on codfish heads, bound for South Australia. So heave away, me bully boys. Heave away, haul away. Oh, heave away. Why don't you make a noise? And we're bound for South Australia. Now, Cape Cod cats ain't got no tails. Heave away, haul away. They blew away in heavy gales, and we're bound for South Australia. So heave away, my bully boys. Heave away, haul away. Oh, heave away. Why don't you make a noise? And we're bound for South Australia. Ready, halyard? Shiny man! Hello, and there was a little lad, so me mother told me, Timmy, way, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. That if I did not kiss a gal, my lips would all grow moldy, Timmy, way, haul away, oh, we'll haul away, Joe. Well, once in my life I married a wife. Damn her, she was lazy to me. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. She wouldn't come home for nights, and it nearly drove me crazy to me. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. She stayed all night, oh hell, what a sight, and where do you think I found her to me? Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Behind the pump, the story goes, with 40 men around her to me. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Away, haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Away, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
Well, most of the time you weather the storms. Of course, you can get a real sober feeling if you check the sailing records of the 1850s, all the ones that finish with floundered or lost at sea. Maybe the captain drove her too hard, or the men weren't quick enough. Or maybe there was just nothing they could do. But, well, it's all behind us now. Storms sinking off to the leeward, still flickering a bit below the horizon. The sea is mellowed to easy swells, and there's the smell of wet hemp and canvas in the air. But overhead the sky is black velvet and strewn with the diamonds of the southern hemisphere. You put your back up to the windward rail, reaching with your eyes up through the bellowing pyramids of canvas, while from up forward you catch the music of the forecastle, and your thoughts drift 10,000 miles away and are locked in the frozen stillness of a New England winter night.
Was homeward bound one night on the deep. Slinging in my hammock, I fell asleep. I dreamed a dream, and I thought it true, concerning Franklin and his gallant crew. I dreamed we neared the English shore. I heard a lady weep and deplore. She wept so loudly, she seemed to say, alas, that my husband is so long away. 100 sailors, they sailed away to the frozen ocean in the month of May, to seek that passage around the pole, where poor sailors do sometimes go. Through cruel hardships as men they strove, on a mountain of ice the ship was drove, and the Eskimo in his skin canoe was the only man who ever came through. In Baffin's Bay where the whalefish blow, the fate of Franklin no man may know. The fate of Franklin no tongue will tell. Lord Franklin alone with his sailors shall dwell. And now my burden it brings me pain, for my long-lost Franklin I'd cross the main. 10,000 pounds I'd freely give to say on earth that my Lord Franklin do live.
Heroes. I guess that was a time for heroes. Those days are gone now, and in the life of a nation, as in the life of a man or woman, there's always something lost for something gained. As we moved out of the great age of sail, the clipper was replaced by the steamship, and Yankee captains retired to their homes. Still, when one of the great surviving square riggers, mostly school ships now, sails into port, crowds gather and stand mute and dream of things more wonderful. Clipper ships, the most beautiful of man's hand servants, machines of wood and hemp, canvas and iron, all blended together to harness the ecclesiastical powers of the wind and the sea. Even their names were poetry in motion. Sovereign of the seas, herald of the morning, flying cloud. And those vessels, they got bigger and better and bigger and better, until the ultimate was built down in the South Boston shipyards at Donald McKay. She was christened the Sea Spouse, and she was so huge that her mast had to be hinged to let the sun and the moon pass by. She could weather the worst of storms like she was sitting in a puddle. One time she was tucked into Boston Harbor. Some upstart challenged the captain to a race. That's what they did back then, a race against time. He wagered the captain couldn't take his Sea Spouse over to the British Isles and back inside of 5 days. Now, this would be impossible for most normal vessels, For that silly fog-brained farmer failed to take notice that the sea spouse was so huge that with her stern in Boston Harbor, her bows were already 3.5 days out. So on the appointed day, sails and stunsail set, she scudded her way across the Atlantic and 2.5 days later beached her bows on Ireland's emerald shore. But now they had a problem. They were aground, behind schedule, and they couldn't get her swung around because Iceland was in the way. Well, that old captain just stood up in her forepeak, looked over that verdant land, and hollered as loud as he could, "God save the Queen, rule Britannia!" Said the Irish got so damn mad they gave that bow such a heave that the stern was back in Boston Harbor inside of a day and a half. You probably guessed by now who that captain was. The only man big enough and strong enough and man enough to master the sea spouse, none other than Captain Alfred Bultrup Jonathan Stormalong. He worked his way up from the lowly cabin boy into the hearts of every native American seaman. One time they were being blown by a ferocious gale right for the English Channel. The crew was certain the channel wasn't big enough to let them through. Not that they were worried for their own sake, mind you. They were feared they were going to knock the British Empire clean off her foundations. Now, they were carrying a cargo of borax at the time, so Stormy just orders them over the side to soap her up. And wouldn't you know, they slipped right through without a fuss. Although I'm told that the cliffs of Dover are still a bit white from that little tussle. But finally, one day, Stormy brought his sea spouse back to her beloved home port of New York Harbor. But there had been a change. The sparkling blue waters of the Hudson were covered over with oil slicks. There was soot hanging in the air, mussing the whiteness of his sails, and worst of all, he couldn't hear the wind's song in the rigging for the clanking of a steam engine nearby. Now those who were with the old man say that a shroud of gray passed over his face like the first coming storm of autumn. And that night, while all the crew were ashore, and with no word of farewell, Stormy single-handedly piloted his sea spouse out beyond the Verrazano Straits and into the misty seas of legend.
Old Stormy was a fine old man. Tell me way, hey, Stormalong John, a good old skipper to the end. Tell me way, hey, hey, Mr. Stormalong John. For 50 years he sailed the sea. Tell me way, hey, Stormalong John, through winter gale and summer breeze. Way, hey, hey, Mr. Stormalong John. He's moored at last and furled his sail. Tell me way, hey, Stormalong John. No danger now from wreck and gale. Way, hey, hey, Mr. Stormalong John. He's a Yankee skipper through and through. Tell me way, hey, Stormalong John. Now old Stormy's gone, and I'll go too. Way, hey, hey, Mr. Stormalong John.